This past Saturday, they did have that Helen Zhang who did the Getting Started module. She does it every other Wednesday. This weekend, on Friday, September 5th, there is the Getting Started Right with Felicia Menacha. And then on the 12th with Alexis Cervantes. And last weekend was Helen Zhang. I did not get a chance to listen to it because I had like 3 things going on at the same time. But I do bring up from the USANA associate community different events that are going on this coming week. Starting off with tomorrow, actually today there was a I don't know, I've never attended that US Sales Managers Training, but tomorrow, September 1st, there is a training on Vision X with Russ Barton, who's one of the scientists from USANA Corporation. There is a new associate training on September 2nd on the new Refer a Friend to Grow program. And then that's what's coming up this week. That's going to be talking about the new Refer a Friend. And it looks like that is on the Facebook Live in the USANA associate community. On Thursday, and I've got the call out, Andre Gordon is doing the Work from Home seminar on Thursday, September 3. This is 7 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So it's 4 o'clock here in Alaska. And I think that's 3 o'clock in the morning your time, David. So that's, again, a really good training to get new invites to someone who has seen, who you have talked to about something, or someone that you're considering talking to. You can figure out what your invite is, but it's a really great, I've seen Andre Gordon give that speech or give this presentation, and I saw last weekend, forgot what her name was, the lady from Canada, and she gave, so they give their speech, and it is really, it's the new health and freedom speech, and it lasts about 40 minutes or so. It's really good, and Andre's a really good speaker. So he's, I think he's someone that if you have someone who's interested, get them to see this presentation. Get 1, get 2, get 3, get 4 people, so tonight start working on an invitation for who you're going to invite and get them to that meeting. And then our meeting would be a really great follow-up meeting. I had planned on picking up some pointers from Helen Zhang on the Getting Started Right, but I didn't. So I'm going to switch over to, so at the convention, they rolled out the new Getting Started manual. I got to get to it. So the Getting Started manual, and this is what the Getting Started guide, actually the Getting Started guide. I'm just going to start out by saying, I'm going to look at each one of us tonight, even though we've been in the USANA group, as potential people to really get started. And I think anybody who has less than 10 people in their organization, whether it's preferred customers or direct sponsored associates, I think getting started is a really important part of our business. And if we're stalled out for any reason, that maybe it's a really great time to go back to the basics and get started. And I'll just add the little caveat, get started again. And I know this is something that I can do because I don't have 10 people that are active in my organization. And the goal is to, if we're here for a purpose, we are all here for a purpose. So let's get started with the getting started. And the first thing in the getting started is the welcome to USANA. I don't have to welcome us all because we've all been here for a long, long time. And if anybody could be welcoming us, it's John, because John is our very experienced leader who has had tremendous success in the past. But USANA is that wonderful organization founded by Dr. Myron Wentz. After he had successfully built Gull Laboratories, he founded our company, USANA, as a answer to looking for ways to solve and fight chronic disease, chronic degenerative disease. Started in 1992 in the same building that he had operated Gull Laboratories, and his, yes, I don't have that slide up. I was going to bring up his mission, but his mission is to.
We didn't see any slide on the screen.
Oh, you can't see?
No slide on the screen. Looks like there's still upcoming events.
Okay, I got to get. I thought I was on the PDF. So share screen. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Getting Started guide, which was new and rolled out this year at the virtual convention. And for the first page is welcome to USANA. And as associates who have been here a while, whenever we get somebody started, this is one of the great places where we should start. Is we should start by welcoming our new member into USANA. And we should be excited about what we have. We are excited, and this is one of those places where we have the opportunity to share our story about what keeps us going and why we're a part of USANA. So I've got past. So here's the table of contents. There's the welcome. There's the find your purpose. And I want to spend a little bit of time there. I might make this a little bit of an interactive period with the find your purpose. It's the why we're doing what we're doing. And then the next steps are, where do we start? And I'll kind of go through a few little stories there about getting started. So finding your purpose. You know, we all get started in doing whatever we do. We have a purpose for it. When I graduated from high school, my goal was to, you know, and crazy as it was, I remember sitting at the placement office at the college that I was getting ready to attend, and there were two things. I was torn between two things. In school, I loved social studies. It was like one of my favorite studies was social studies and history, American history and history of the world and those sorts of stories. But I was always really, really good in math and science. And I remember I was standing there looking at the board in the placement office, and I had two choices. I could go to school to be a history teacher, or I could go to school to become an engineer. And you know, I'm not sure I chose the right why, because the first thing that I did was, you know, I thought about what I liked, and what I liked was the social studies. But I looked at the job board, and the job board said, now I'm going to be dating myself a little bit, but the annual salary for a teacher, $12,500.
Whoa.
And I thought, oh my God. I looked at the annual salary for an engineer at the time, a graduate engineer, $25,000. It's like, oh man, you know, and this is way back in the dark ages, you know, after I, you know, so I looked at that as I'm going for the big money. I'll be rich before I know it. You know, thinking $25,000 was a lot of money. But I'll tell you, you know, when I look back on it, the things that have really given me a lot more joy is the time I've spent coaching kids and doing things and teaching and working with other people. So I'm not really sure that I made the right decision, you know, but I you know, I'm the kind of guy who, when I make a decision, I kind of put my head down and I just keep plowing through. And that's really what I did. I went to college and went through the engineering classes. You know, I passed my calculus, passed my physics, you know, just went through all of those. It wasn't something I was always really, really excited about, but, you know, I did good in it. You know, I did all right. I got a good job, and, you know, and here I am, man, 40 some years later, I'm still in engineering. And then I think so it's, you know, it's like, well, that's how long ago it was, you know, just think $12,500. How much money is that today? How much money, what would that buy you in a month's time today? Or, that was the annual salary, by the way. So So I guess what I want to ask all of you is why are you here? You know, why are we all a part of USANA? What are we hope to get out of it? And I look back at one of my first whys was why I met Gui Ying. Gui Ying said, well, if you want to date me, you have to join USANA. Right?
You
I
have
like
to
that.
serve a healthy.
Good girl.
uh, but it makes for a really great part of the story. But as I got to know her, and she didn't just jump on me with USANA right away. She sort of reeled me in a little bit. We went bike riding. She went bike riding, and she was drinking protein shakes, and she was telling me how good she felt and all of that stuff. And it's like, oh, I wonder what's in that. Must be some sort of magic potion, but or it was my aura. I couldn't decide which, and I figured out it really wasn't my aura. It was really how she was taking care of herself. But it was one of those things that when I first got to know her, health was a big part of our discussion about being healthy, learning about nutrition, and that was really where I was really interested in her, is because she had goals. You know, she had some aspirations to go to school and learn about nutrition and share nutrition and do what's good for other people. So, and it was just only a little bit later that she gave up with the ultimatum. She said, well, all the other guys I met on Match, they ran away when I told them about USANA. So it's like, well, I'm glad they all did, because, you know, this was really been a really wonderful experience for me. And, you know, she started me out slow, got me started on a health pack and on health pack and Biomega and a few other things. And I did notice after a very short period of time that I had more energy. You know, I just started to feel good. But the purpose, why are we here? You know, so one of my big reasons why I'm here is, well, I'm here because of when, but it takes more than just somebody else's reason to get you to stick with it. So what I really want to challenge each and every one of you is what is your why for being here? What's your health why? Why are you, you know, what health concerns do you have that you're struggling with, and how can USANA help you? But now also, what's your business opportunity why? Because, you know, and maybe your why is only to make enough money to help make your product purchases free, or just to help you offset the cost of your product purchases. You know, we are not the cheapest, we're not the least expensive product on the market, but we are the best. We are really the best, and there's a reason why we're there. So what is your why? Is your why only to make enough to help with that? And if that's it, that's a really great why, because, you know, all you have to do is find enough people to help you pay for your products, and you can help them do the same thing. If your why is much bigger, if your why is bigger so that you want to grow a global business, you can do that too. But your commitment is going to be different with the why for buying product and the why for building a global business, the why for being healthy and the why for sharing health. They're all really, really important whys, and they're the things that are going to get you engaged. They're going to get you over the nervousness of calling somebody new up on the phone. Hey, Alfred, I got something new I really want to talk to you about. What is it? You know, I've been there. I did it. You know, and it's hard to get over that. But it is that constant. You know, what's behind it, what's making you and what's driving you to do that. That's the why. What's the purpose? Why are you here? Why are we here? You know, we're here because we want to, you know, and if you don't have a big enough reason why right now, you know, there's a really great why that we can borrow, and that's in Dr. Myron Wentz's vision: to create the healthiest family on earth, to love life and live it, to love life and live it to the fullest. Share that vision with other people. You know, David, Thecla, you know, we're up at an age right now where there are many people our age. I'm watching friends of mine who are settling for that getting old. Oh, my knees, that's what's supposed to happen when you get old. My knees hurt, my body aches. I can't get out of bed in the morning without moaning, groaning, and and taking 20 minutes just to get warmed up enough to stretch out my legs so I can stand. And I have friends that are like that, you know, or they're on different sorts of medicines for different diseases. But maybe, just maybe, by helping them get started, maybe I can help them get out of bed a little bit earlier in the morning, get out of the bed without a groan. And I'll kind of I know I was doing that a couple of years ago. I was out dip netting with Suzanne. You know, she had her tent next to mine, and I woke up in the morning, and I'm claiming this is because I'm sleeping in a tent on the sand, and no air mattress, no blanket, no nothing, just in a sleeping bag on a tent on the mat on the ground. And I popped my head out of the tent in the morning, and she said, "What in the heck was going on over there?" And I looked at her and said, "Well, what do you mean what was going on over there?" She said, "When you started to get up, all I heard was, oh, oh, all this noise." Now, I can't guarantee those noises are gone yet. But I feel much better. I did go tenting with my friend Rob the other night, or over the 4th of July weekend. I never heard any of that complaint. He did tell me that I slept really good and I snored that night, but that was after a 5-mile uphill hike. And my feet were cold, but that was the biggest part of that. So what's your why? Why are we doing it? I want to, you know what? I just want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I want to be able to do the things I like to do, and I want to be able to do them as long as I can. So, and here's the thing. If you don't have a why right now, it's really something that is going to be that thing that drives you. But even if you don't have a big why right now, borrow somebody else's. I can borrow Gwen's. I mean, her story is pretty amazing, and we talk about that every once in a while. And she said, you know, I go to the doctor and they don't believe me. I want to share with people that there's answers beyond the doctor. Mm-hmm. There's answers to your health, and they can only do so much for you. And it's so disappointing when they don't want to hear what really did her some good. So that's actually a big driver too, is what do you believe and what do you do? So, you know, the next step is developing your entrepreneur mindset. What is an entrepreneur's mindset? Well, you know what? When you signed up and you became an associate, you started a business. You now are the boss. You are the boss, you're the secretary, you're the janitor, you're everybody, everything in your business. You're the bookkeeper, you're everything. But having a business has some responsibility. If you want it to make money, you have to do something to earn it, and you have to add and create value to your customers. I've had some past experiences as an entrepreneur. I did do Amway, but it was really hard for me to get behind that. I never really found a mission and a purpose behind Amway, and maybe it was just I was young enough. I had kids. I had too many distractions. I had all the kinds of excuses, but I just didn't really believe in the product either. I didn't believe, you know, they had good products, but I didn't believe enough in it to keep recruiting and drawing my friends in. I had a business that I quit my job at 3M for, to buy a franchise to build sunrooms, and it's like, holy cow, you know, I borrowed money to do it, and then I had a building, I had people, I had employees, I had responsibilities. There's just so much there, and there's so much outside of your control. Well, I take that back. You know, we have a lot more control over things than we think we do. We have a lot of responsibility to learn what we don't know. And that was the thing. I went into that business not knowing everything I needed to know to do it. And it cost me a lot. It cost me a lot to learn those lessons. 2 years later, I was working in a machine shop, drilling holes in parts because of the very expensive lessons that I learned. But but I was the boss. I was the janitor. I hired somebody much smarter than me to be a bookkeeper. I had some guys that, at the end, I had some guys that were really good at building. But by then I had made enough mistakes that the cash flow wasn't there to keep everybody going. So business just went, and I found myself visiting with lawyers and working a second job. But you have an opportunity. And I guess the other part of it is, what's your vision for your business? Where do you see yourself with your USANA business? Do you see yourself having an organization of 10 or 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 or 500? What's your vision, and what are you doing to make steps towards that? Do you even have a plan for it? And I guess one of the things that I have seen in this is if you're working this part-time, like all of us are, except for John, we're all working this part-time. So we have to fit it into our other job. But what we need to do is, it is a priority. If I want to succeed as a USANA associate, I need to make it a priority. Some of the suggestions that I've seen from other distributors, like Jared Krebs, when I watch some of his stuff, is every Sunday, sit down and look at your plan. What's your weekly plan? How many people are you going to contact? What are you going to do? What's your plan of action? Are you working on things that will help you create revenue into your business? And what are those things that create revenue into your business? Anybody know what those things are? Becca, are you going to give me one of the 2 major things that are revenue generating activities?
That are revenue generating activities?
Right. What are the revenue generating activities?
That would be looking for new clients.
So, right. So prospecting and making new contacts, finding new contacts. What are we doing to find new contacts? How about existing contacts? Contacting people that we already know is another part of that. So it's having conversations with people that we already know and sharing with them the product and or the opportunity, finding out what's driving them. What are their reasons that they may need, that they may be interested in taking a look at USANA, and I, I'm really good at talking to people and digging for what that information is, but I'm going to tell you, but it's making the invite where I have been struggling. And I know that is the one place that I have my personal opportunity to really make an improvement is now that I know all this stuff that somebody has, they're on 3 different medications for blood pressure, diabetes, and this. It's now helping flip that switch and know how to make that right invitation. So it's inviting people into our business. So making new contacts and inviting. And the other big thing is those people that you've already talked to and invited, follow up with them. Continue to ask them to take a look. Continue to give them a little bit more information. Continue to, if you know somebody like Rob, who's a runner, and say, hey, Rob, I read this really great article about or Hepisil is really good because it helps you do this, this, and this, and share this information with them, and just continue to follow up. I know that one of the best people at following up that I know of is Guiying. She does a tremendous job of just, and she invites them to take a look. And even if they say no, she just says, okay, well, not today. And then next time she sees them, she will talk to them and ask them, hey, are you interested in improving your health in whichever way that she has, because she gets to know them on that level, and then she invites them. And she is so good at the follow-up. So the follow-up and serving, follow-up and serve. And when they join, she continues to follow up. And she says, you know, she's been working with Lanchow down in Georgia and helping her to grow her business. But she also knows enough about the product so that when Lanchow calls and asks, what are your recommendations? You know, she can give her some recommendations. In fact, just last night she was taking pictures of products. She was describing, you know, so you put numbers on them so that when she sent her an email with the pictures, it explained what each of the products does. This is what Fibergy does. You know, we all have resources to learn that, but it's really nice to have someone that we can ask to. And when we know where they're at, then we can direct our new starts to those same places. But it is really important to know what the products are. And that's what the next phase is to be a product of the product. You know, learn what the different products are. I should put up that picture. Last night we did our Celavive exfoliating face mask and mask before we went to bed last night. And just learn what those are. But we use, I started with the health pack and the Biomega, and I noticed what it did. And then as I grew in with Gwen on what I was doing, you know, she started to encourage me about, you know, you could do something about what's, you know, she asked what's wrong with your elbows. Why do you have that fish scale skin, kind of is what it was. It's psoriasis. And then she started to encourage me. And I think she was learning along too with the different things that could help, you know, what parts of your system. And I had long known that psoriasis is an autoimmune disorder that affects your skin. It just makes, you know, it's like a hyperactive immune system that once you get a cut, scrape, or whatever, it doesn't know when to shut off the healing, and you just keep growing skin, which is what was happening. So she's helped me find different solutions to that. So become a product of the product, because when you're starting to use the product, then you can be excited about what it does for you and excited enough to share it with other people. Oops. Oh, I don't know how to get back. I love this mouse. Sometimes it does things for me and I don't know how to get away from it. And then once you begin to use products, you'll start to create your own private, you know, your own testimonials too about what does it do for you. And again, if you're just getting started and you're really excited about it, borrow somebody else's testimonials. You know, we have the testimonials that David has shared. We have some of the testimonials that Mila has shared. We have testimonials that Gwen has shared. You know, we have all had something that's happened. You know, it can even be a story like we were with Teresa when we went down to the Kenai, and we stopped by to visit her, and she talked a little bit about how for years and years and years she had allergies, and she was out for a drive with her husband, who had, at the time, he was on USANA because he had heart issues, and she credited, you know, the USANA for giving him a second life past his first heart attack. And she said, well, we were out driving along and I saw these, you know, my husband saw all these little white cotton floating in the air. And he looked at me and he said, hey, what's that in the air? And she said, well, that's cotton, you know, cotton from the cottonwood trees. And he said, well, do you notice anything? And she kind of, well, no. And he says, well, you're not sniffling and your nose isn't red and your eyes aren't red. And it was like this aha moment. She said, you know, I've been on USANA and everything happened so gradually until it was brought to my attention. I didn't even know it. But she said, you know, I haven't had allergies ever since. You know, I've noticed I never get those seasonal allergies. And that was just the effect of somebody's testimonial. You can borrow beg, borrow, steal somebody else's testimonials about the things that it does. We do have to be careful. We can't tell people that our products are meant to cure. They're not meant to diagnose or treat any illness or disease, but we can share stories about things that have happened to other people as more of a case study of the kinds of results that people are seeing. And we can't really guarantee that they will do anything for anybody else, but you know what? When I talked to my sister, I said, I guarantee you'll feel better. I said, I don't know in which way, but when you start using the health pack and you do it the way I asked you to do it, I guarantee you will start to feel better. And so when I talked to her a little bit about that, she said, well, I just started a new medicine too for my diabetes. So I don't know if it's this or if it's that. So, you know, it's just got to keep following up, just keep following up. And I have Gwen to, you know, she keeps telling me, did you call your sister today? I'll call her tomorrow. I always say I'll call her tomorrow. I'll call her tomorrow.
You have Monday tomorrow.
Okay. So, but again, so then there's the business testimonials. What is our business testimonial? What does it feel like to achieve Premier Platinum Pacer? What does it feel to get your first $25 check? What does it feel like to get your builder's paycheck or whatever it is? We all have a testimonial as, you know, what does it feel like to help somebody else get their first check? You know, that's kind of cool. You know, and maybe that's a bigger reason why, is helping somebody else. You know, that's, you know, part of my DNA is in helping people. And I, you know, sometimes you know, they look at me and say, well, you're just trying to get rich off of me. And it's like, oh, I'm not getting rich off of just you. You know, the idea is that I can help you, you know, if you're willing to listen and if you're willing to do what we have the opportunity to do, I can help you. And I can sincerely help you be healthier. I can help you find some additional income for whatever reason it is you want that income. You know, maybe you got laid off for COVID. Maybe you are just looking for a way to change what you do. Maybe it's just to save a little bit more money for the holidays. But you know what? It's really cool to see somebody get that first check, or that first commission from their business. So getting started right, you know, we can talk to them a little bit about the USANA Foundation too, because that is a big part of USANA is the ability to serve and give back, to feed the children of the world. There's a lot of hunger out there, and we have a way within USANA to do something and to affect that. And I think the next thing that we talk a little bit about is our core values, the core values that bring us to USANA. One is health. You know, I've long been an advocate of finding better ways to be healthy. And, you know, I've done a lot of different readings. I've tried several different diets. I've tried different eating lifestyles. I could never get myself to go to completely vegetarian or vegan. And even knowing that they're healthy, but man, I still like a really good, a good medium rare steak every once in a while. Although that's, you know what, I don't miss it as much, then I don't have them. So USANA is all about health. They're all about excellence, you know, the excellence and the quality that they put into the product, the research behind the products, the integrity of the leadership. It's amazing to, to me, it was really amazing when we attended the convention at Salt Lake City last year to listen to and see Kevin Guest, how engaged he was in the business and how sincere he was when he shared his values, when he shared, you know, his vision for the future. And it's even really fun to listen to him talk about when he took over some of the roles that Dr. Wentz had, not feeling up to it, but hearing him say that Dr. Wentz kind of looked at him and said, Kevin, I know you're the man who can continue to carry out my vision for the company. And having worked in a large corporation, and I saw so many managers and above that just didn't have that same level of integrity. They weren't invested in the values of the company. They were invested in getting their next job, or they were invested in impressing the next level of vice president or director or whatever it was. And I saw it all the time. I remember we were in one of these quality program meetings one time with the plant manager at our plant. And it's all about trying to inspire our employees to buy into this new program, which is, big corporations are really great for programs. And we walk out of the luncheon and he said, well, it's time to get back to this Q90s bullshit. It's like, and it's like, and I'm standing there and he's supposed to be selling me on how I'm going to sell the people that work in my department on that. And that's what I'm hearing. So there's not a lot of integrity in that sort of a program. Pardon my French. You know what? It's really great to be a big part of the community. And we have so many different ways to connect with the community, through the WeChat group, through the Facebook groups, through our weekly trainings. And we have this community to support one another, to encourage one another. And I think one of the things that we could do a little bit better within this group is to challenge each other to do something more. I don't know what everybody does on a day in and a day out basis, but sometimes, just maybe that will kick in the butt, or just say, hey, Dave, what are you doing this week? And helping me hold myself accountable to the things that I say I'm going to do. So where do we get started? We get started. This one just kind of says it all. Have a great mindset going into it. Let's, this is your business. Let's get excited about where you have and where you're going, and start to know this stuff. Get to know at one of the Getting Started seminar at convention. One of the first things they said is program customer services phone number into your telephone, because that is one of the greatest resources that we have. I know that I've heard in this group when we've had conversations about different products, and John says, call customer service, give them your associate ID and they will help you out. And there's where you really learn the company too, and how they do support us as associates. And I learned that every week from Gwen, because she does exactly that. She calls customer service. When I bought her some USANA gear that was a little too small. She called customer service and they said, well, we don't normally exchange clothes, and then she said, well, my husband thought I was smaller than I am, and these things are just too tight. I bought her extra small, so it's not like I I thought that's what she wore, so.
I'm old. If I'm young, okay. I'm old. Need to loosen.
So she said, yeah, but I can't breathe. I have to be able to breathe. So, but they were so friendly and they're so kind. And I think they understand that husbands make mistakes on occasion. So I made a mistake. So I said, the other thing is get your auto order set up, and you can be an example to others by setting up your auto order. Know what you want to do. If your commitment to be healthy and keep your business open, an auto order is the very minimum. An auto order for your 100 or whatever it is to keep your one business center open, and you're going to grow faster by keeping all 3 business centers open. So, and I think as you go through these steps of the getting started, and I think this is what I really encourage each and every one of us in this room to do, is to go through these steps now for yourself. because as you learn these steps for yourself, then what you can do is you can teach them. You can teach these same things to the people that you're bringing in and the people that you're introducing to the group. If you want to connect with USANA on social media, there are several really good Facebook communities. There's our WeChat group. There's, you can start following all kinds of people on Instagram. And it's so easy to get stuck looking through there and seeing what everybody's doing on Instagram. But it is a great place also to go look for ideas for what you want to do. So what do you want to do? We go back to our purpose. How do we see ourselves fitting into this business? Who do we want to help? And how can we help them? And then you can go into Instagram and maybe follow some, in my case, follow some other 60-year-old guy that just wants to be healthier and help other baby boomers not get old, not get as old. I don't know anybody my age group who wants to get old, but I hear so many of them say, oh man, the price of getting old is, sore joints, sore knees. I can't see, I can't hear, I can't climb, I can't do this. Oh man, it's really cool that you can ride a bike, but I haven't been able to ride a bike for 100 years, and they're only 60 years old. So there's some really great places. There's the USANA Share Media Center. Start sharing, just start sharing it easy. Start with your parents, start with your family, start with your friends. Most of them won't listen to you, but it's a really great place to practice. You get some practice on how you're going to invite, what products you're going to share, what products you can convince them to buy. I'm still convinced I'll talk my brother Mark into buying at least the Essentials, and I might just beg him and say, hey, I really want to go to Disney World. Can you help me by just buying 3 months worth of Essentials? And I don't mean we should need to beg them, but I also really believe that if we can get somebody onto the Essentials for 2 or 3 months, they'll notice a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I just really, but getting that first commitment to say, I realize they seem kind of expensive, but you know what, if you can afford it, you should be able to do this. I'm sort of fighting a battle with my brother. His daughter is a dietitian, and she says that you can get all your nutrition from your food. So she's not as very well educated dietitian. I need to educate her too.
Yeah.
And then there's the personal website. We do have the personal website on our USANA, on the hub. Go in there. We can get that all set up. I've done that. My pictures are a little bit dated, and I know it's time to begin to start freshening that up a little bit. But that website is then a page that you can share. When someone asks you, well, what is USANA? You can say, well, here's my website. Send them to the website and start looking at this stuff. Start seeing what you can do. I love sharing. I do share a lot of the Ask the Scientist pages as well on my Facebook pages, or I send it to my friends that I've talked to about it. And I get good response from them, about they like it. They haven't really committed to much past liking it, but we'll get there over time. So we have to learn how to talk to our customers. And here's some of the things, we want to be really upbeat and positive when we talk to them. We don't want to ask questions or just, hey, you want to be healthy? Oh yeah, everybody does. It's more about what are your biggest health concerns as you enter as you enter the 7th decade of your life, it's like, oh my God, when I say it that way, I really sound old. But, we're there, but what are your biggest health concerns, and to me, my goal has always, and I think this is one of the things I've shared before, my goal has always lived my life free of being on prescription medicines. And there are just so many reasons to never want to be on medicine, because it seems like when you get on one, you're going to end up on 2. And when you're on 2, you're going to end up on 3, because you're treating the symptom for this one, and then you get a new symptom, and you treat a new symptom for something else. So the goal is, let's let our bodies do what our bodies can do by feeding them properly. So you know, again, I think one of the things here is to stop asking questions when you receive enough information. So we don't want to find out their whole life story and their whole medical history. You know, that's what they do have a doctor who has charts for them. But if there's just something where we can help them, let's help them. It does say here also, you know, recommend some products, but don't recommend too many. You know, let's see, I could recommend that somebody buys, you know, I could open up my drawer and say, okay, well, I take Hepsil, I take Vitamin, I take Magnecal D, I take a health pack, I take all of this. That'll be, I don't even know what I spend in a month. You know, but start them out on South Central, start them out on something simple, get them started. You know, I think the big thing is, what can we do to help them start? And what can we do to help them see the benefit for themselves immediately or as soon as possible? So then here's some other things, the call to action, create custom share lists. What are some of the share lists for some of your favorite products, you know? So for my sister, I made a share list for her because I know she has diabetes, and she did buy a health pack from me, and Gwen and I were talking after I talked to her. She's had some other things going on, and she talked to Annie and came up with some recommendations. So I sent her a share list, and you know, I think I was a little bit more than she was ready for at the time. So I do need to follow up, which is the next one. I always follow up. So don't just send it and not follow up, because, you know, you get no feedback. Well, what is your objection to what I sent? I don't know. What is, you know, well, what did Becky say when you sent her that? I don't know. She didn't say anything. Well, how come she didn't say anything? Well, I haven't talked to her yet. I'll call her tomorrow. So here's a theme there. So, you know, with that, we do have the opportunity, you know, we have the opportunity to start earning. We can start earning by our retail sales. We can start selling some product. We can sign up preferred customers. We can get the preferred customer bonus. We get our weekly commissions. You know, the quicker we get started, the more people we share it with, the cheaper your products get for yourself. You know, if you sign up, you know, I did here on the work from home seminar last weekend, our last Thursday, she said, you know what, one of the first assignments is to go out and find 10 new preferred customers. You know, just find 10 people who could become a preferred customer and share with them. You know, so if you got 10 people buying Cell Centrals, let's just say it's Cell Centrals, you get 10 people buying Cell Centrals a month, that's $500 worth of product a month, roughly, you know, maybe six, I don't know, $600. So you're pretty much going to have, out of that $600, you're going to have 10%, $60 plus your PC, plus your weekly CVP commission on it. As you grow, then you want to find 2 to 4 new potential associates. And out of those preferred customers, probably you'll turn some of them into associates because they want to learn how to make their buying products cheaper. So there are, you know what, we've been through all these. I'm not going to go through them all. We can all read what the Premier Platinum Pace Setter and the Pace Setter Premier Pace Setter bonuses are, the Pace Setter and the Associate. So those are the opportunities. I think it is important when we get them started that this is something very important to share with someone who becomes an associate, because the time to earn it is, you know, it's really critical. If they want to get started fast and they want to be able to make a career of it, the Pace Setter bonus, the Premier Platinum Pace Setter bonus, is a big part of an ongoing, we'll call it a legacy income for the future. So, and right here, this tells me I need to learn how to explain it much, much better. But the information's there. And if you don't know it, or if I don't know it, let's bring them to people who do know how to share it with them. I can come call up John and say, hey, John, I want you to share the Premier Platinum Pace Setter bonus. I don't understand it well enough yet to explain it. So how can you help me? So that's why we have an organization that we have, is that we have help. We're not in business. We're in business by ourselves. We're in business for ourselves, but we are not by ourselves. So here's a big thing, you know, we have goals. You know, have you set goals for your business, and how are you committing to them? And I'm going to use a example outside of USANA for setting goals. In July, I've been using my Apple Watch, the fitness or the activity tracker. So they have activity tracker. It's like, how many times do you move in an hour? You know, if you sit in a desk job all day, you might sit for 2 hours without ever getting up. So you get so there's a ring on activity. Then there's a ring on move, calories burned, and then there's an exercise ring. So there's 3 rings on the Apple Watch that say these are your goals. So at the end of July, I had a streak of days where I closed all 3 rings. And they were actually, the move calories was kind of low. So I thought, I'm going to raise my move calories. And my goal for August is I'm going to have a perfect month. I'm going to close all 3 rings all month long. All of August. So I got a head start. You know, I had 2 days at the end of January or of August that I started. August 1st came around, and I got all the way up to it was 10 minutes to midnight. I can't remember what time we were actually getting ready to go to bed. I think we went up to bed about 10:30, and I was like 20 calories short of 1,000. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna, you know, it's like, oh, I blew it already. I'm not gonna make it. So I thought, oh, I'm thirsty. I'll get up. I'll go downstairs and I'll get a drink of water. And it's like, there's 13 minutes till midnight. And it's like, I look at my watch. It's like I have 20 calories. So it's like, okay, I guess I can do this. So I picked up some weights, and I'm doing some curls, and I'm doing some jumping jacks, and I'm doing something like that. At 11:58, I hit my 1,000 calories. I closed all 3 rings. But I set the goal, you know, and I almost gave up on it right away because I hadn't made it at 10 o'clock on the first night. But it's like, you know what? So then I went through the rest of the month. I've gone pretty much up through the rest of the month, and I had a couple of those nights. It's like, oh man. And Gwen was going up to bed, and I said, no, I got to close my rings, you know? So it's like, and I'm outside and doing, I think one night it was 10 o'clock or something like that. And it's like, I had like 300 calories to burn. It's like, holy crap, that's a lot. I don't know if I'm going to make it. So I'm out in our backyard. I did 150 jumping jacks. And then I heard these guys out walking through our neighborhood, and I poked my head out, and I hadn't seen them before. So I thought, I'm just going to follow them. So I took a walk around the neighborhood, and they seemed okay. I passed them, and I kept walking. And I got back, and then I did 200 jumping jacks, and I look at my watch, like, oh man, I've got a lot to do. So I did another lap around, 2 laps around. And then the next time I did it, I think I ended up the 3rd time around, it's like, okay, I'm going to walk a little ways, and I'll do 50 jumping jacks, and I'll walk a little ways, and I'll do 25 jumping jacks. So I ended up that night doing like 2 miles walk and 600 jumping jacks, but I got my calories burned. So I made, you know, again, I kept my streak going. August 22nd, we get invited over to somebody else's house, and we get home at midnight, and it's like, oh, I missed my calories. I missed it by like 13 calories. And then it's like, you know, it was already passed. So I have to start. I'm doing it. I got to do it again in September. So I'm getting ready to finish that. But I do find, you know, again, setting the goal, commit to your goal, and keep doing it. Just keep doing what it takes to get it done. If you got to do jumping jacks at 11:30 at night to close your ring, get up and do a few jumping jacks to close your ring. If you got to call 100 people to get one here next week, call 100 people to get one person here next week. You shouldn't have to. You know what? We all have every one of us in this room has a really pretty good personality. we should be able to invite one person. I bet we should all be able to invite at least one new person each week and bring one new person a week. This is the one I struggle with. And I'll just tell you, what is your personal brand? And it's really about what you are and what you stand for and who you are. And it's, you know, so how well do you know yourself and what do you want to stand for in your personal brand? And, you know, this guy, he's got really cool glasses and a really cool hat. And you know, I haven't quite got that going for me, but I got a really cool wife and she knows how to style my hair and comb my hair and make me look good. So, you know, I can update my pictures on my, you know, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago with our elevator pitch. Let's get our elevator pitch on our Facebook pages as our profile, on our Instagram page as our profile, on our WeChat page as our profile. Let's get that, you know, that's your brand. Your brand is your elevator pitch. What do you do? What are you doing it for? So much more, you know, this whole getting started guide, there's so much in it. And I really encourage you all to take some time and go through it, but learn, you know, and take with it what you can. You know, we can't all become experts on everything in it, but we can bit by bit start with one thing and get better at it and learn something more and apply it. And if you don't know something, there are plenty of us in the group that we can call. We can send an email. We can, you know, there's so many resources available to us. And that's the thing I've learned too is there are some really cool resources if you just go looking for them, especially in the Facebook. You know, the Facebook groups, the WeChat group, there's a ton of information out there. So learning the basics of social selling. And then, you know, and I don't really have to educate anybody in this room about the hub, but as you're getting somebody new started, I think it's really important to sit down with them and take them to the hub and say, this is where you're going to order your product. This is where you're going to find this information. Here's the Share USANA page that you can find. It took me a long, long time to figure out what the heck is Communications Edge, you know, and, you know, that's a little bit on me because I'm too proud to ask, you know, something that seems like a simple question. I should be able to figure it out. So I go looking for it. And sometimes it takes me a lot longer than it should to find it. But the more we can help somebody get to these resources when they're getting started, the less we will have to do for them as they get further and further into their USANA journey. And I know Gwen does a lot for some of the people in her group that are downline. She, you know, she helps them and she takes them through it and she helps them order and she helps them order. And, you know, again, the follow-up is really, really important, but she's trying to build some independence in those associates that are underneath her. She kind of tells me I have to figure it out myself. She doesn't help me. I tease her. She's really good. She, you know, I could ask her about any kind of question on products, and she's so good to help. And so that's the Getting Started Guide. You know, that's what I have. That's my take on the Getting Started Guide. That's a really quick tour through it. But I encourage each and every one of us in this room right now, if you don't have 10 people that are active in our group, you're a beginner, you're a starter, you should be getting started. And I just say, not getting started, but let's get started again. And let's kind of get this thing moving because we have a really great thing to share. We have a really great opportunity to share. We have the vision of sharing good health around the world with our friends, our family, and you know what, with people we don't even know today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Great job.
Good job.
Thank you.
Getting started.
So, yeah, and I printed it out. I waited till I was at work one day. I emailed it to myself, and I used the copier at work. So Anybody who knows anybody in city government, please don't tell them I used government resources to print some a really nice color copy of the Getting Started guide. But,
That's a good idea, though.
they have thicker paper, stuff we have, and
Sneak into church and do it.
and I always buy the wrong cartridges for our printer. So Gwen says, "Why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep buying the wrong cartridges?" So I always thought it was 62. It's not. They're 61s. I do know Eric uses 61s though. So.
I have 564.
62. Eric uses 62s. So okay. Well, I don't have anything. Anybody else have anything on Getting Started? What's the biggest challenges you have getting someone new started?
Finding people to talk to. Nobody wants to talk to anybody right now.
Well, it is a challenge. It's different.
Definitely different.
So.
Yeah, it's used to like when you are going outside shopping or doing stuff, everybody say hi to each other. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Now people look away. I was talking to my son when he was in Amway. I was asking how he was taught to contact people, and it was really interesting. He said, "Oh yeah, Dad, we used to get dressed up and we'd go to the mall, and we'd walk around the mall and we'd start talking to strangers." And he said one night I was in the mall and I got invited to the same meeting that I was looking to invite people to, because he said every time I went to the same shopping mall, I would see those same people and they're doing the same thing. It's like, yeah, I just don't know that that's a really great way to teach people how to build your business. It does get you out there and it gets you putting yourself out talking to new people. But they were more or less out hunting. It's like might as well just had a little I don't know what you would call it, a paintball gun with that said "You're my next Amway victim" or whatever it was. So, so it was just really interesting. But we know people. There's just there are different ways to get to know people. And I know, David, you're meeting all kinds of new people in Jordan, which is not an open an open market, but.
But they're all good friends now. And
Yeah.
when the time comes that we're able to support this community out here, should be well set. So just filling up the WeChat list with new contacts works out really well that way.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to continue those friendships on for many years to come.
So yeah, it's really all about just going out and making a bunch of new friends. Well, how come you don't have old friends? My old friends don't like it. So.
Well, I'm gonna be making a bunch more new friends here in just this coming week as I try to salvage the package that Mila sent to me, because now it's with the health department of the country of Jordan to be analyzed. So by accident, it could end up being very beneficial. They're going to be taking samples and doing tests, and that could be really useful. So as Michelle says to me, she says, you're just taking a course. This is you've paid for admission to a training course, and that's what it's called. The cost of the products and the cost of the shipping and everything is pretty much the same as you would go to a seminar. So nevertheless, I'm now into the health department of the country of Jordan, and because Mila sent me a package that was valued over 200 JD, and being such, it got stopped in customs, and customs sent it to the health department, and now I've got 2 doctors and a lawyer who want to open Jordan up, helping me get the get the product processed and evaluated so that I'll be able to take it. So Michelle will be able to take it. So you never know how the ball bounces and the beneficial aspects of what we're doing.
Mhm.
Hey, John.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
John, what do you have to add for the getting started? What have you got to add for it? And
Yeah, that's a really great material. So, our team is from Dr. Lisa Lee, Ming Lee, and now become a very big team in North America. The top growth 25, the 10, I believe 10 is from our team, and the top income earner is 10, it's more than 10 from our team, from Lisa Lee Mini's team. So we use the company's material. It's easy to copy. Just like you use this material, and this become our system. This is USANA have a good tools, good getting started materials. There's so many teams, they don't pay attention to that. They try to create something by their own. So they said, okay, we have this. But the best tools, the best material is created by the company. And the easiest way to duplicate is we use these materials to build our business. I'm so glad David can get this, can present this to us.
I was hoping there was a video on it too, and I didn't find a video. So I guess this is one way of starting to create those videos as well.
And you did a great presentation. For the tech class question, no one to talk. When we have in our system, we have a step-by-step, right? We do prospecting. We list all the names. We make a list. This is one seminar. We talk about how to make a name list. You write down everybody from your phone, from your memory, from your family tree, from your daily mat people, even somebody just the post officer, you don't know his name, you just write down the post officer. Everybody, you write down the name, you write down the name list. Then you have something to work with. Well, these days, so many people, they don't say hello anymore. But many people have time to sit down, to chat, to go deep. Many people, they feel lonely. They need connection. This is a good time. Maybe this is not a good time to expand your list, but this is a good time to go deep to your list, to build deep relationship with your connection, to go back to your old friend, to your old relationship. They have time, they have more time than before to find their need, to help them. Then from them, each of them have their own connection. There is a different way to build a big business. From Dr. Lisa Li Ming Li, we didn't focus to use money. We try to build deeply connection. Then we can help 1, 2, 3, and they can help 1, 2, 3. From our, and this is really use the benefit of our compensation system. When you have 2, one is on the left, one is on the right, you build strong relationship, connection. You help them, you work with them. Then the 2 is enough. So Takla, if you didn't, you think you don't have 2, do you think you don't have 2?
I do have to.
You do have 2, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes, definitely. If you, then you have 2, then why you think you have no one to work with?
Because they're the only 2 people I see.
It's like
Oh.
the poker have 52. There's 2 joker. If you just take one, maybe this is not the joker. But the joker is there. It's in your list already. The joker is already there. Maybe you don't need to know more people. Through the people you have already know, there are 2 jokers there. The only problem is these days we are too busy. We just say hello. We don't know their need. We just have a very shallow relationship. So we think we know them, but actually we don't. Actually, we have a good tool to fulfill their need, but we don't know their need. So we can do nothing for them. And then we think we don't have the people. Actually, the people is there in your phone, in your mind, is around you. The diamond is in your backyard. No need to go far away. No need to cross the mountain, cross the sea. Just dig the diamond in your backyard. It's there. Just follow our systems to list the names, to prospecting, make connection, know their need, then do the invitation, do the presentation, do the closing. You do know. Don't you think so? Do you think so?
Of course.
Tekla? Maybe?
Did you win?
Agree? No? Try your poker. It's there.
I like your analogy.
Yeah. Sometimes we can do this work together. We make a name list and then we analyze together, just like you see a story. So you say, okay, this is my sister. She's a what. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
we can work as a group. We say, okay, yeah. From this list, we say, okay, this one looks like no need. Then no need, no invitation. Though she is fat, she need to lose weight. But that is what we think. She think she's good enough. So then we will suggest for this one, talk with her, chatting, connection, deeper connection, then find her need. Then another name, we say, okay, this is one. This is a post officer delivered the mail for the past 10 years. Know nothing about him. Then we can suggest, okay, we can just talk with him. Well, some people just go there, okay, I know you delivered the mail 10 years. I have a good business opportunity for you. Yes, it's work sometimes. But maybe this post officer, he don't need the business opportunity. He needs something for his meal. He have some pain in his meal. So sometimes we work together with your sponsor or with us, with your team members. We can work together with your list. Then we will know how to work on this list. Which one we can invite. For these people, how to invite. Step by step. Just like last Thursday, we in Mandarin meeting. This USANA is work, definitely. But just like drive a car, the car can be drive. But can you drive the car?
No, I don't drive.
You don't drive.
Mm-mm.
Yes, that's right. You don't drive the car. It's not, the car cannot run. Definitely the car can run.
Hmm?
The car can be driving. The car is good enough. It's a good car.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is I don't know how to drive it. The problem is not the car. The problem is I need to learn how to drive the car. If I learn it, if you learn how to drive the car, then you can drive the car. It's not the car cannot running. It's we don't know how to drive the car. If you learn it, if you know how to learn it, then you can drive the car. You think you cannot? Or you think you can if you learn?
I know how to drive, John.
That's great.
I know how to prospect also.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there are not very many people walking outside of my house. You can't stop and talk with people at Walmart because the police come and make you walk on. So prospecting is very hard to do at this time in the state of Washington. So I'm okay where I'm at right now.
Yeah. That's
Not
good.
exactly where I want to be right now, but I'm okay with where I'm at.
That's good. So for these days, so many connection has been going into the phone. We try to avoid face-to-face. This is a new
I
chance.
prefer face to face myself.
Yes, me too. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I prefer to face-to-face too. And it's a big challenge for me to change to, well, even today, still very struggle to change to talking on the phone. For Annie, for my wife, she has no problem to talking on the phone, to WeChat, to video chat. Well, I still feel a big challenge because I think for a man, I'm not a chatting guy. Most time I just talk about the business and then business finished, nothing to talk. Even for me, I meet a big challenge today. Well, I'm still trying to learning. I'm trying to change. Just like Mila have so many information post on social media. For me, I'm still very not good at that. Well,
John,
yeah.
I think that we could make this a whole nother meeting. It's now 8:45 and I got some other things I need to do.
Yes, it's good. It's too late for today.
It's getting rather late, yes.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk again next time.
Yeah, let's do a whole meeting on it or something, like different
Yeah.
ways of prospecting or whatever.
Yeah, all this topic we can discuss, all the question we can take out and then we discuss. We try to
I know how to
everybody.
go to the mall and do all those things, but if you can't get into the mall to do any of those things.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's a not good time today to go into the mall to chat with the people. They will afraid of you.
There's no malls that are even open. They're not open.
Quite right. I'm quite agree with you. And I even feel insulated. The numbers in BC these days go jumping.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. John, I wanted to set up a separate call with you, and I'd like to get with you in regards to schedule. How's the best to go ahead and do that? Realizing you're 10 hours behind me, I don't want to be inconvenient to you, but I wanted to have a little side conversation.
Okay, then we can make a time on the WeChat.
Yeah, on the WeChat.
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John, for the great suggestion. And that's you have bring out so many good ideas. That maybe it's exactly right. We should talk about idea for prospecting. So during this time, one of the topic we should talk about. Add it to the list, David.
Okay.
And basically, for me right now, the only thing that works is Facebook.
Yeah, perfect. We can use whatever we like to and we good at.
I'm not good at it. Just what available.
Even for Facebook, I didn't update for 2 years, 3 years. So there's a lot of things for me to learn in these days too. So that's a big challenge. Well, there is a big opportunity too.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember Jim Rohn said that everything that you're not good at it, you must make it math. So you have to challenge yourself doing things you're not good at it.
Yeah.
That.
Yes.
John
Well,
Maxwell says, if you can't, you must.
Yeah.
And if it's worth doing poorly until you learn how to do it right.
Yep.
Yes, that's right. When we learn it, we will feel, wow, it's not that difficult, right?
Actually, it gets a whole lot easier as you
As you go.
as you go. Yeah, you can become lots more comfortable the more you are comfortable with the products and the information and the business and so forth. It becomes second nature to mention it, especially if you glow USANA.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, like just a really quick story. I was always afraid of fast, like the speed. So just recently I got my motorcycle. I say if I can challenge myself not to be afraid of fast or speed, then I will be succeed. So I got my motorcycle.
Good for you.
Yeah. Now I'm still nervous every day.
And that's a good thing, Mila, but not so nervous that it distracts you. Right? You can't be afraid of it. You just have to be anxious enough to continue practicing, as we chatted before. So ride safe, be visible.
Mhm.
Okay, David. Well, what's our topic next week? I mean, David M. Your speaker is now open.
Getting started. U.S. Labor Day. Joint health
So,
for
so next week is Labor Day, and that's next Monday. And what's that? You want to take the week off for the holiday? We could take the week off for the holiday. I had talked about doing, we just did a Procosa though, so
Well, we could have an open forum. You know, I mean, we're five big friends, and you know, just a discussion of the topics of the week might be, you know, real useful. But prospecting was always a component, and it's, you know, the being comfortable with being able to talk to other people is, you know, a key factor. But at the same time, I mean, we do have a holiday, or you have a holiday coming up.
Monday, it's a Monday.
Labor Day.
I'm kind of liking that idea of sort of an open forum on, and maybe an open forum on prospecting, and maybe we can share what works, what we're afraid of, what we're not afraid of, what you know, some of the stuff that John started talking about tonight. So I can update this and send this out. And
Where did you get the book from? Is it downloadable from a?
it's on. If you go into the hub and you go into, it's, I think you go into the share link, and then I always just go up to the top and I type in the topic that I'm looking for. And in this case, I typed in getting started.
Okay.
And, so there's the getting started guide. You can type in getting started guide. And I know that this getting started guide was new as of the most recent convention.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah, it is a really good. It's a really good resource. And like John says, I mean, I already got a list of some people too. So just getting deeper with all of them and starting to invite. You know. So should we make next week kind of an open forum on prospecting?
Okay. Good
Sounds
topic.
Good. Good topic.
I'm trying to. Okay, I'll update this and send it out. Okay, Mila.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good day.
Okay.